Welcome back to the job site. My name is Jim, and I'm here to help you understand the basic safety rules concerning the fall protection requirements on this project. As we discussed earlier, falls are the leading cause of death in construction. Anytime you work at any height, you need to take it seriously. Falls from unprotected edges, ladders, scaffolds, and roofs can be prevented. The safety requirements for ladders are listed in Subpart X. Ladders can be extremely dangerous if they're not used properly. Each year, hundreds of workers are killed and thousands are injured as a result of a ladder-related accident. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, nearly 1 in 4 fatal falls in construction involves a ladder. The main causes for ladder fall incidents include 1. Selecting the wrong type of ladder, 2. Using a damaged ladder, 3. Incorrect placement of the ladder, and 4. Using a ladder incorrectly. We'll look at these issues as we go through our ladder safety discussion. Choosing the right tool can make all the difference when it comes to safety. This is especially true for ladders. Here are 3 questions to answer when selecting a ladder. 1. What style of ladder do I need? 2. What is the maximum weight that a ladder can safely carry? And 3. How long does my ladder need to be? Let's keep these questions in mind as we walk to the job site to view our options of ladders. There are different styles of ladders that are made for a variety of uses and situations on the job site. We will look at 2 basic types, the step ladder and the extension ladder. This step ladder is a freestanding, self-supporting portable ladder. It is non-adjustable in length and has flat steps and a hinged back. Step ladders are usually used for work at low to medium heights. An extension ladder is a non-self-supporting portable ladder that must be leaned against a stable structure for support. The length of an extension ladder is adjustable and they are used for climbing to higher elevations. Now that you have selected the type of ladder, the next thing to do is to select a ladder that will be strong enough to support you. Each ladder has something called a duty rating. This duty rating indicates the maximum weight capacity that the ladder can safely carry. Never overload ladders beyond their maximum intended capacity. Otherwise, the ladder could break and cause you to get injured. This duty rating, or weight capacity, will be shown on a label stuck to the side of your ladder. Look here, this label indicates that the 6-foot step ladder has a weight capacity of 300 pounds. To calculate the total amount of weight your ladder will be supporting, add together anything that will be on your ladder. This includes your body weight, plus the weight of your clothing and protective equipment, plus the weight of any tools and supplies you are carrying, plus the weight of any tools and materials stored on the ladder. Once you calculate the total amount of weight your ladder will be supporting, then select a ladder that has a weight capacity that is strong enough to support that expected workload. There are 5 categories of load capacities. Each of our ladders here have a 300-pound capacity. They should do the job. Once you determine the ladder capacity that you need, the next thing to do is to select the proper ladder length. The height of the work area must be considered when selecting the appropriate ladder height. It is unsafe to use a ladder that is either too short or too long. Many injuries occur due to ladders being too short for a specific task. Select an appropriate height for the ladder. Workers using ladders that are too short will sometimes stand on the top rungs in order to gain the necessary height. Do not stand above the highest safe standing level as designated by the ladder's manufacturer. This is usually the top 2 steps of a step ladder and the top 4 rungs of an extension ladder. Be sure to read the warning labels posted on your ladder regarding this safe standing level. Using steps or rungs above this safe standing level can make the ladder wobbly and unstable. This could cause the ladder to shift and potentially cause you to lose your balance, resulting in a fall. Another item to take into account when choosing the ladder length is that the sections of the extension ladder must overlap each other by a minimum of 3 feet. However, depending on your ladder height, these required overlaps may need to be increased to 4 or 5 feet. Another dimension to consider when choosing ladder length is the need to extend your extension ladder 3 feet past the roof line or landing platform.
Per OSHA 1926.1053b1, when portable ladders are used for access to an upper landing surface, the ladder side rails shall extend at least 3 feet above the upper landing surface.
Now that you have selected a ladder based on the type, capacity, and length, it needs to be inspected. As with any tool, always inspect a ladder before using it. If you see any loose or missing parts, or if the ladder seems rickety or shaky when set up, don't use it. When inspecting ladders, be sure to use your eyes and your hands. The small cracks around the rungs are not easily detected by a quick visual inspection. Workers need to feel with their fingertips for any raised spots in the fiberglass to check for small cracks or splits. Inspect this ladder for any damage or missing parts. Check the side rails for any cracks, bends, splits, or corrosion. Are any rungs or steps missing, loose, cracked, bent, or showing signs of corrosion? Are all rungs and step connections tight? Are the ladder foot pads or base sections worn, broken, or missing? Make sure the feet work properly and have slip-resistant pads. Make sure the rung locks and spreader bars are working and stay locked down when engaged. Are ladder rungs and steps free of grease, oil, or other materials? Check to see that the weight capacity label can be read. If the rating label on the ladder is missing or is hard to read, then the ladder should be replaced. Using a ladder without knowing the rating of the ladder could cause an injury if the weight is too heavy for the ladder to support it. I see that you found some safety defects on the ladder. Good. Here, take this tag. Any ladder with structural damage or other major defects must be immediately tagged "Danger, Do Not Use," or with similar language. If the ladder can be repaired, you'll need to store it someplace safe away from the usable ladders until its repairs can be made. If it can't be repaired, you need to destroy the ladder before throwing it away. Otherwise, someone could dig it out of the trash and use it in this damaged condition on your job site again. Once the unsafe ladder is identified, notify your supervisor and take the damaged ladder out of service immediately. Now that we've tagged this damaged ladder, we'll take it over to the office trailer. Then we'll take a look at the proper setup and use of ladders on our job site. Now that we have discussed the selection and inspection of ladders, let's take a look at how you should set up and properly use a ladder. You need a safe and level area to set up your ladder. Watch for doorways and overhead power lines. When setting up the ladder, you'll need to remember to ensure the proper angle is used and that the ladder extends 3 feet past the landing point at the top of the ladder. Before using the ladder, make sure it is secured at the top and the bottom. Let's take a look at each of these items. First, position your ladder in the safest location possible. Avoid setting up near hazards such as entry or exit doors, vehicular or pedestrian traffic, or uneven floor or ground surfaces. If you absolutely have to work near a doorway, especially in front of a door that opens towards the ladder, then block the door open or lock it and mark it with warning signs. Setting up a temporary barricade, such as warning cones, provides a good visual warning. Be careful not to get too close to power lines when installing, using, or taking down your ladder, especially if you're using a metal ladder. A good rule of thumb is to stay at least 10 feet away from overhead power lines. Make sure your ladder is set up so it's level. A step ladder or extension ladder that is not perfectly level at the bottom will become unstable when a worker climbs it. Never use unstable base materials to level up your ladder. Setting the extension ladder at the correct angle is also very important. The correct angle for using an extension ladder is 75 degrees. This angle can be determined by using the 4-to-1 rule. Simply move the base of your ladder horizontally 1 foot away from the wall for every 4 feet of your ladder's vertical distance.
1926.1053(b)(5) states that non-self-supporting ladders shall be used at an angle such that the horizontal distance from the top support to the foot of the ladder is approximately 1/4 of the working length of the ladder, the distance along the ladder between the foot and the top support.
You can also set the ladder at the proper angle by placing your toes against the bottom of the ladder and extending your arms straight out. When the palms of your hands contact the rungs at shoulder level, the ladder is approximately the correct angle. Here, you try it. Stand at the base of the ladder and reach your arms out at shoulder height. Now adjust the angle of the ladder so that your palms can grab onto a ladder rung. Nice work. As we discussed earlier, remember to extend the side rails of the extension ladder at least 3 feet above the upper level. This allows you to safely move on or off the ladder to or from the landing point. Having a secure base to avoid movement is also important. On soft ground, flip up the ladder shoes so that the spurs poke into the ground. Before you set up the ladder on a hard surface, clean the bottom of the ladder feet and sweep away sand and dirt that could cause the ladder to slip. If it still seems like the ladder could slip, tie ropes to both ladder legs beneath the lowest rung and tie the other ends of the ropes to a solidly anchored object. If there's no structure to tie off to, then you can tie off to a stake in the ground behind the ladder. If placing the ladder on a wood deck, attach a 2x4 board in front of the ladder feet to keep it from sliding. Securing a ladder at the base does not prevent it from slipping to the side at the top. Get someone to help hold the ladder in position, then secure the top of the ladder so that it cannot move away from the wall or move sideways. Use rope to tie a rung or side rail to a secure anchor. Same rules we discussed for setting up an extension ladder in a safe location that is firm and level also apply to step ladders. Since step ladders are freestanding, they do not need to be placed at a 75-degree angle or secured from falling at the top and base like an extension ladder. However, there are additional safety rules that are applicable to step ladders. First, only climb up the front steps of the ladder and never on the braces on the back side. Don't allow more than one person at a time on a step ladder. The exception is when using a specially engineered two-person step ladder, which has steps on both sides. Another rule to follow is to make sure you remove all tools and materials from the step ladder before moving it. A third rule to follow is don't treat a step ladder like it is an extension ladder by leaning the closed step ladder up against the wall and then climbing it. Don't do this. The ladder can easily slide out from underneath you once your weight shifts from the front feet of the ladder to its back feet. We've covered quite a bit of specific safety rules to follow when using either an extension ladder or step ladder. Here are a few general safety rules to use no matter which type of ladder you're using. Number 1, when working from any type of ladder, keep your belt buckle within the two vertical side rails. Reaching out too far to the left or right could cause the ladder to topple and take you down with it. Number 2, use 3 points of contact when climbing a ladder. Always maintain either one hand and 2 feet or 2 hands and 1 foot in contact with the ladder when climbing or descending. This minimizes the chance of slipping and falling from the ladder. To help you maintain 3-point contact, don't carry tools, equipment, or material in your hands while climbing or descending a ladder. Use a tool belt for small tools and a hoist line for lifting and lowering larger items. One more thing, always face the ladder during ascent, descent, and when working. It's hard to maintain the 3-point contact backwards. As you can see, there's a lot of information to remember when it comes to ladder safety. Remember the acronym CLIMB, climb, when you use a ladder. C is for you to check the capacity of the ladder. L is for you to select the appropriate length for your ladder. Make sure the length allows you to get the 75-degree angle and the 3-foot extension past the upper level for extension ladders. I is to remind you to inspect for damaged or missing parts. M is to maintain 3-point contact when on the ladder. And B is for you to be aware of your surroundings, especially in the locations of overhead power lines. Maintain a 10-foot distance between the power lines and your ladder, materials, and tools.